From the KMNN studios, this is the Kids Morning News Network.
It's Wednesday, January 31st, 2024, the last day of January. I'm Alex in the KMNN studio in New York. Today is National Backward Day, so day great, have you hope I. Or I guess that really should be Yad Tergai Eva Yui Epa I. If I do this whole thing backward, it's going to get confusing. Let's get an update from the Winter Youth Olympics in South Korea. Remember, these are the Youth Olympics, so all the competitors are between 15 and 18 years old. Yesterday, Team USA and Team Canada faced off in the men's ice hockey semifinals, and after a close game, Team USA squeaked out ahead, 6-5. Team USA skaters Olivia Island and Dylan Kane won a silver medal in ice dancing. Nice work there. And Team USA is still alive in mixed doubles curling. They'll be facing Slovenia today. In the gold medal count, Italy still leads with 11. Germany has the most medals overall with 18. Italy and France both have 17. A couple of historic space missions took place on this date. In 1958, the United States launched Explorer 1, the first satellite that we put into orbit, but it wasn't alone up there. Sputnik 2 from the Soviet Union was already circling the Earth, and as you might have guessed from the name, Sputnik 2 wasn't the first. The Soviets had already sent Sputnik 1 up, and it had already fallen back to Earth and burned up in the atmosphere. This was the beginning of what was called the space race. The United States and the Soviet Union, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was controlled by Russia, both figured out how to put satellites into orbit. Both countries wanted to have the best satellites. No surprise, because they were in competition down here on Earth, too. Several years later on this day, January 31st, 1966, the Soviet Union launched a rocket, Luna 9, that made the first soft landing on the moon, which means it didn't just crash into it. It survived the landing and sent back the very first pictures taken on something outside our planet. Now, the Soviets tried to keep it a secret, but the signal was intercepted and the pictures were published around the world. Since then, dozens of spacecraft have either landed or crashed into the moon, and tens of thousands of satellites have gone into orbit around the Earth. Time for the daily riddle. Yesterday was, the more of me you take away, the bigger I get. What am I? The answer? A hole. Today's riddle, if you've got me, you want to share me. If you share me, you haven't kept me. What am I? I'll say that again. If you've got me, you want to share me, but if you share me, you haven't kept me. What am I? Answer tomorrow. Around 20 million years ago, a giant shark roamed the ocean. Called Megalodon, or Meg for short, it was a burly 30 feet long, like an oversized great white shark. Maybe. See, scientists don't really know because Megs didn't leave much behind. Like any shark, their bodies were mostly cartilage, which doesn't fossilize well. So scientists have mostly had to use Meg teeth and a few vertebrae, or backbones, to make educated guesses. A new study published in Paleontologia Electronica says that by making Megs look like giant great whites, we've gotten it wrong.
What?
A team of scientists suggest that the Meg vertebrae aren't beefy enough to support a great white-shaped body. They suggest that Megs were actually longer and skinnier than we thought. And instead of a fearsome predator like the great white, it may have been a pretty slow swimmer, turning on the jets only when it got close to something good to eat.
No way.
But like all things Meg, there's no way to know for sure, so the Meg mystery goes on.
Ha ha ha!
In the weather today, it'll be a pretty calm day for a lot of the country. Still really warm along a lot of the Rocky Mountain front and the Central Plains, more like springtime than January. There is one big exception to this forecast, and that's pretty much the entire West Coast. A big, wet El Nino pattern will cause what they call an atmospheric river on the West Coast this week. It's called a river for good reason. The West Coast will likely see torrential rain and high winds for much of the rest of the week. And then another one will roll in on Sunday, so be careful out there. I want to end with a poem, and with the atmospheric rivers coming in, I want to do a rain poem. This is called An April Rain Song by Langston Hughes. Let the rain kiss you. Let the rain beat upon your head with silver liquid drops. Let the rain sing you a lullaby with its pity-pat. The rain makes still pools on the sidewalk. The rain makes running pools in the gutter. The rain plays a little sleep tune on our roof at night, and I love the rain. Thanks for listening. It's National Backward Day, so remember to give a hearty goodbye to everyone you meet. This is Skillat in the KMNN Newsroom. Hello!